This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Going there, all good?
We're all good to go?
Good.
All right, let's do it.
Yes, sir.
You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Same as last time. Be as open as you can. I'll be nice. And we're good to go, okay? Okay. No rehearsal. Here we go.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair. This episode has been way long overdue, and I've owed it to this person for a very long time, and we'll get to that in just a second. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to thank you all again so much for all the love and support that you guys have shown The Public Affair all year long. We're coming up to the end of the year. I'm so grateful that the show still remains relevant, that there's still a little bit of relevancy behind it, and it's all because of you guys and all your support, so I truly, truly appreciate it. And of course, to Mike Hamilton at Rogue Media Network, who's staying at this hour to produce this episode. I truly appreciate it. He agrees. This episode was long overdue as well. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity. I'm just going to give a shout out to just a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to David Santabañez with Alinea Real Estate. He is the number one sales agent and remains the number one sales agent in his office at Alinea Real Estate. He's going to help you buy a home or sell your property. Make sure you follow him on Facebook for all your real estate inquiries. If you guys don't know how to buy a house, if you don't know how to sell your house, you don't know where to start, you don't know what the process is like, my boy David Santabañez is going to take you through every single step by step. Y habla español también. So my boy David Santabañez, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Oh my goodness, this is giving dinner right now because I just had the etouffee like last week at Armstrong's Bayou Cafe with my girl Anika Armstrong. Let me tell you guys something. The best Cajun in town. The best Cajun in town. The best Cajun in town. The etouffee was giving because it's cold outside and it's so warm and it's so perfect for your stomach. All her signature pastas are so good. Best seafood, best authentic Cajun. Armstrong's Bayou Cafe. Make sure you guys go check them out. Union Hall, Union Grove. My girl Anika Armstrong is doing their thing. She's got a food truck now too. Girl, good for you. Good for you. Anika Armstrong, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to my boy Manny Guerrero with Blue Star RV Services, a mobile RV tech who fix all RVs, travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and so much more. Even those food trucks, me and Will are so tired of going to these downtown events and we cannot eat the food because the truck's not working no more. Call Blue Star RV Services. They come out there and fix it, okay? I don't want to hear that your heater's not working. They can fix that too. Follow on Facebook, call them on the screen, Blue Star RV Services. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode. Of course, to my boy Jeff Davis, the Texas car plug at University Mazda Kia. You can hit him up for the best deal on a brand new or pre-owned vehicle. Listen, no matter what your credit be looking like, no credit, bad credit, good credit, somebody else's credit, just go hit up my boy Jeff Davis at University Mazda K. He's going to get you the best deal and rolling off the lot, grinning from ear to ear. My boy Jeff Davis, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, to the best thing that has come out of Bellmead, Texas. I'm talking about Lucas Pizzeria with Jesse and Tanya Sotomayor. You can be on the lookout. Well, their grand opening already happened, right? And they're a family-friendly restaurant in Bellmead offering delicious pizza, burgers, Philly cheesesteaks, and so much more. You guys have got to go check them out. The New York-style pizzas are to die for. I'm biased because I'm from New York. Hello? But it's the basic. You guys got to go check them out. Lucas Pizzeria. You guys can order on DoorDash and stuff, too. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. All right, guys. So like I said, I've been really excited about having this next guest onto the show. I really didn't think he was going to do it. I'm not going to lie. I really did not think he was going to do it. I thought he was going to, I'm not going on that ghetto trash shit anymore. You guys fucked me up last time, but he was so nice because that's who he is. He's just he's a humbled person, just as he was 3 years ago in 2021 on episode 56. He is a local pro athlete. He is an Olympian, and he's prepping to go to the 2025 Paris Olympics.
No.
Oh, excuse me. Hello.
2025 World Championship.
Oh, my bad. World Championship. Excuse me. Regardless, I'm so excited. Where did I get that from? I'm so excited. He's one of the few guests on my show that has a Wikipedia page because I sure as hell don't. Wil London, thank you so much for coming back.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yes,
I really appreciate that. Hey, everybody get it wrong, so I'm not even mad. Like track is a little different, so you know you got to keep up.
You're right. You know, I fucked it up because I was doing my homework, and I want to talk to you about this in a minute. Yeah, but it's the World Championship.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact, and we'll get to this in a minute too. I'm so mad that we're not talking about that as a city, but we'll talk about that in just a second. You know, being an Olympian, you know, you got to keep yourself disciplined. First of all, how have you been since then?
Man, it's been a roller coaster since that time. So I had actually moved out of Waco.
Okay.
What, that 2021 to 22 year.
Yeah.
And for 2 years, I lived in Fort Worth.
Sure.
I was in the training group. You know, I made new friends.
Okay.
You know, in that training group. It was tough. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Had to come back. Just recently moved back last season.
Okay.
Back training back in Waco at Baylor with Coach Ford and my dad.
Yeah.
So it's like it's better. So like
Good for
when I
you.
was in Fort Worth, I just went through a lot of injuries. You know, trying to come back from that. And
Pretty
if you're an
trying.
athlete, you know, trying to come back from injuries, you know, it's hard. So
Yeesh.
just going through all of those things, and you know, like I said, I made a lot of good friends
That's what's
along
up.
the way. So it's just like, I'm cool.
You're still doing so well. You look great. We run into each other in passing just very few times as well. And, you know, you never treated me any different. We have to break the ice. I know you said you don't care, but I got to break the ice because let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When you're on episode 56 of the show and I put that out, when I put that garbage out,
It wasn't
bro, it was such
not
garbage. I don't
no.
care. Do you understand the people that were so disappointed in me? Like, how could you have put that out?
No, look, I keep
Please, because you were in
Y'all,
Japan.
no.
Go
Look,
ahead.
I keep telling him that everybody got to start somewhere, and I salute Andrew because he started from the bottom on his show.
Thank you.
So it's like for me, it's like when he told me, he's like, bro, you got to come back. He kept telling me that. I seen him like 3 times. And I'm like, bro, I'll come back. He was like, nah, for real, you got to come back. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, bro, you good. I seen him a second time. He was like, bro, you got to come back. I was like, bro, I got you.
Yeah.
So then he hit me up. He was like, bro, you still trying to call? I said, bro, yes, I'm coming back, bro. Like,
I was in
like,
disbelief because
dang.
no, you don't understand. Like, I guess for me, like one of the things that I strive for with the podcast, you know,
Nah,
like,
for
especially
sure.
for you as an athlete,
You want perfection.
perfection.
Yeah.
And so when we put that out, I was in this mindset of consistency was everything.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
cannot
for
miss
sure,
this.
for sure.
And there's so many people that are excited to see Will on the show. We cannot do this to them, and we put it out.
You good,
bro. I watched it. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. To up until 2 days ago, I could not watch it again. I never shared it. and I even thought about taking it down. But then there was people that were like watching it. They're like, we're just happy that Will is on the show. My thing is this.
Sure.
I have this kid that's on the podcast who's going to the Olympics. I wanted to do it justice, and I didn't do it justice. That was just it, period. You know what I mean?
I just look at it more so like you did what nobody else in Waco did.
Oh, wow.
No one else like did. You know what I mean? Like I went on one that's like affiliated with Baylor. But of course, because I went to Baylor.
Sure.
But like as far as anybody else in Waco, and I'm never gonna be the type that like I know when you trying to get something off the ground, I know how that is, and it's not easy.
Right.
So I knew like when you was just like, nah, I was like, bro, it wasn't bad. Like everybody that I know that they watched it was like, nah, that was a good interview.
Okay.
Like so I'm like, no, it wasn't bad. Like I mean, I feel like for you, but I also know how hard it is to understand my sport.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not gonna be something you just gonna be like with anything else. You can just type on Google, find the answers.
Yeah.
And then like I know how to ask this question.
But
so,
Will, also too, like we couldn't hear you on the show. Like there was so much.
Yeah, but I mean that's what comes with it though.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
We learn from it.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had too many mistakes. Maybe just one or two. You know what I mean?
Not like you learn from
not
that.
like that. I will say that was. I regret putting it out though. I do. I regret it every day up until maybe just now when you just you're so gracious. That's why I like.
No,
about
I
you.
mean
Yeah.
because it gave you a chance. Like the people who watched it, they didn't care about that. Like they heard, part of my story.
Sure.
So for you, I commend you because you gave me a chance to tell like the part that people don't get to see.
Okay.
Because everybody just see like, oh, you going to Tokyo, but you gave me a chance to like you ask questions that they don't know how to ask or they don't know what to ask.
Oh wow.
So it was like regardless of like, okay, it wasn't that. Some people was like, nah, bro, I watched it. Hey, I salute you, bro. You doing your thing.
Okay.
So it's
that
like
means a lot. Okay, so thank you because that ate me up for 3 years.
Nah, you're good. You're
That ate
good.
me up for
Nah,
I always told everybody there's that one. They were like, did you ever put any out that you regret? And there's people that were on the show that I beef with now, kind of.
Yeah.
But I was like, there's this guy I had named Wil London, and I don't feel like he has to come back on. I don't care.
Nah, you asked me like 6 times to come back. I'm like, bro, I seen you. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna come back. He was like, nah, I don't think you're gonna come back. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna come back, bro.
He's here. I'm so great. I'm
Yeah.
grateful. Listen, a lot's happened since 2021.
it's a lot.
Regardless,
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Went to the Olympics. Can we just jump right into it?
Let's go.
You
Let's
made
go.
the ill-fated post that you made it all the way to Japan.
Yeah.
Okay. You were at like the literal Olympics.
Yeah.
But you didn't end up competing.
Yeah. Nah, that right there, that broke me down. Like,
Can we
during that.
please talk? What happened?
So it's
I know at the
like-
time you didn't want to talk about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I mean, it was more so like I didn't want to talk about it because I still had another part of my season that I had to compete.
Okay.
So it was one of them things that I just had to throw it in the back pocket,
Sure.
forget about it, and keep going. Which, when I kept running after, I didn't lose no more races for the rest of the season.
Oh, cool.
When I went back to Europe. So
Okay.
I was like, all right, cool. I got to finish the season off.
Okay.
Because that's just a part of being an athlete. Like,
Yeah.
you got to, like, whatever's going on, you just like, it is what it is.
You just gotta. Okay.
So it was more so like, they had a rule that a certain amount of people can be a relay and one person has to be like an alternate, that if somebody like during that time, which was during COVID,
Sure.
that if somebody was to get COVID or anything, that's the only way they can possibly run.
Oh.
And we didn't actually know the full rule until I got there. So
to Japan?
Yeah, so like I knew like of it, but
Wow, yeah.
it was one of those situations where they was like, yo, just if somebody not running good in the first round or whatever, we're gonna throw you in. And I was like, all right, cool, because I've been in that position before.
Okay.
So like at the time, like I had like teammates that was like, nah, bro, we want you on the relay. And then we like talking to the coaches and they was like, look, this is the rule. Like, I'm sorry, but there's nothing we can do.
Oh my god.
So I was like, bro, like, man, it's crazy. So it was like that whole time I was down there, which I was down there, 3 weeks?
Sure.
So, you know, I'm just down there just like soaking it in.
You're just like in Japan then at this point,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, like, mind you, was no fans, no nothing. So I was like in the stands, like by myself.
Oh, Will.
Yeah.
Wait, so because there's a lot of nuance to that, right?
Yeah,
because surely somebody then read up on the rules before y'all flew international.
Yeah, I mean,
overseas.
it's like we knew what the rule was, but we didn't know it was that deep of the situation.
Wow.
So it was like, we thought like on our end, we thought like, yo, if somebody doesn't run good, they're going to put you in, because it's happened before.
Yes.
Like in 2019, that's how I was able to run. Like somebody didn't step up and do their job, like you getting thrown in.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and we kind of went into it like that was a situation again.
Sure.
So we was ready, and like we had teammates that was like, nah, you got to put Will on there. Like, we trust him.
Yeah.
And they was like, we want to, but we literally can't. Like, that's it's nothing we can do about it. If we do, the whole relay team will basically just get like disqualified.
Sure.
So,
but the whole time you were under the impression that you were flying out to Japan to compete in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was like, for me, I'm just always ready for whatever's gonna go down.
Absolutely.
And as I'm always gonna pick me first, regardless of whatever the situation is. So I went out there like, I'm gonna have a chance.
Okay.
I don't care if it's the prelim, whatever. I'm gonna get a shot. Like, I just want a shot. And I've been in situations where when I had my shot, I was able to continue to get on the final and stuff like that. So
okay, you know what? Because you know what I thought it was, because I remember that was still around the time where, oh God, you're gonna hate me for forgetting her name, but like there was a rule about I guess like smoking weed and stuff.
Oh,
like,
Shakira.
Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I wonder if Will went out there and partied.
No,
right?
no.
with the Japanese.
Shout out to Shakira for her situation and the
Yes.
way she handled hers, and she was able to have major success after that, and still and do that. You know what I mean? Because I really hated that for her too.
Yeah,
and I had told you that, like,
you did.
I was upset for her for that situation, because like for someone of her caliber, and one thing can
just ruin everything.
Yeah, and I just hated how the media tried to portray her in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like how they tried to portray her like no one has ever made one mistake.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Like, like she was irresponsible.
Yeah, like,
it wasn't even that deep.
It wasn't even that deep.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
She was able to bounce back, and you see what she's doing now.
Most definitely.
She running the track game on the women's side. Like, man, she doing her thing.
Yes, that's so great. But I kind of want to let's backpedal a little bit, because you mentioned that you went out there and the phrase that you used was, I had to put it in my back pocket and keep moving forward.
Yeah, for sure.
How did you not let something like that discourage you? Because like I looked up the post, because I could do my homework now. Like I'm a full-fledged podcaster. And so I looked up the post, and part of it sounded like you thought we would be disappointed in you.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I did, more so because it was like during that time, it was like, I look at it like this when I travel. Like when I first started traveling overseas, I never really took pictures and videos.
Okay, gotcha.
Like, I never did. But I remember one time, I can't remember who told me, it was like, bro, keep doing your thing. We living through you.
Oh, wow.
And I had to realize that everybody in Waco won't have an opportunity to see Paris, to see Tokyo, to see Europe, to see all these different places. So that's when I started like trying to, like, on my Instagram story, I got like, how you can add on your page like the things where you can look at.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the little circle thing.
I know what you're talking. It's for the young kids. Yeah,
the story.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
and you can just go back and click on them. Now I added that to it. So
highlights.
Highlights.
That's what they're
So now on my highlights, you can go and look. I went and finally did it, because I had to think about it. I was like, bro, everybody is living through you in Waco who doesn't have a chance, or who didn't have a chance. So at that moment, I was like, everybody was waiting for that opportunity.
You qualified for a moment to even be flown out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But for me, it was like, I was like more so like DMs. Everybody was like putting on like stories. Hey, when do you run? What time are you running? I'm gonna stay up tonight to try to catch you run. So it was like I knew, but at the moment I couldn't even say anything to him about it.
For sure.
And I didn't know how to say it. So I was just like, bro. Like,
did you do anything or find any moment to grasp on where you were just like, you know what, bro? Like, I'm good though. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I'm going to be okay. Like, my city's not going to be disappointed in me.
Nah.
Yeah,
I never.
Okay.
And I feel like today, like in today's, I still haven't really recovered
Really?
from it. Because it was just like, that's an opportunity that comes every 4 years.
Right.
So it's like, that's not something that like, okay, next year I'll try again. So like, for me, it was like, I feel like until I get the opportunity to do it again, I won't be okay.
So you were, and I'm sorry to, you know, I'm sure that affected you because it's like,
for sure.
I was telling somebody too, like, you know, he's not just like, it's not like an intramurals thing. Like,
no. It's my life.
It is the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, hello. You know what I mean?
I mean, because it's like, when you, like I tell people, like, when you have like, when you set your, I'm pretty sure like with your podcast, like you set yourself to like do something and you not gonna stop till you get it.
Correct.
So it's like, that's the same way I am. Like you have the idea of how you gonna have it set up.
Yeah.
When you know you walk through, and like as me, like I have the idea of when I was gonna win the medal, come back, and everybody's like wanting, you know what I mean? So like I got all of those things like set up in my mind, and then it's just all gone, and then you got to get like on a 16-hour flight and just soak that in. And then like the worst part was like my family did the whole thing where I came back. Flew into Waco and they was all waiting at the airport. And I did not enjoy it and I wouldn't be.
Oh man.
Like I just couldn't.
Okay.
Like for them, they was just happy because you did it. Like, you know, but for me, it didn't feel like I did it.
Let me just speak on behalf of, you know, maybe even your family. You know, for me personally, like I had an Olympian on the podcast. Like, hello. Like, I don't give a damn if he competed or not. He still went to the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, we're proud of you, bro. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
We are. And so But did you end up at least getting to see Japan while you were out there and you couldn't?
No, we couldn't leave because it was during COVID. So like,
that's right. Yeah. Oh my god.
So it was like it was no fans. Like you had to wear masks.
You couldn't do nothing.
No, like so when you got like you had to have you had to get a COVID test the day before you left.
Okay.
When you got on the plane, the only people on the plane was the people who like were going there specifically for the Olympics. So I flew from Waco to Dallas and Dallas straight to Tokyo. Oof. So on that flight, it was like you had 3 rows empty. Then the next person, 3 rows empty, and then like they were empty in the middle.
That's lonely.
Yeah,
and you're in a country where you know nobody.
Exactly. Right. So then you get there, and then you had to take a COVID test as soon as you got off the plane. But on the plane, you couldn't take off your mask unless you was eating or drinking. Like on the plane.
Oh, wow.
So once you got off the plane, you had to take another COVID test.
Right.
And everybody that was on your flight or who came from other flights, when y'all took y'all COVID test, they wouldn't let you go anywhere until everybody COVID test came back.
Right.
And if it came back negative, everybody was able to leave. If one came back positive, like I know one team, I think it was the Canadian track team. They had to stay at the airport when they got to Tokyo, maybe like I think they said like 15 hours until everybody ended up testing negative again.
What a nightmare, yeah.
So once you tested negative, you got on the bus.
Sure.
And then, you know, you got checked in, whatever, and then they took you over there to the village. You got to the village, and they gave us the rules. You had to wear a mask the whole time you was on the village.
Right.
But everybody there, even though was testing negative.
Right.
Everybody was there, was negative. And then every morning you had to spit in a tube. And they tested that for COVID every morning. That was every morning.
Yeah,
you was there.
Just a nightmare. And you know what makes it so sad for you too is that like not only did you not go out there and where you were able to compete like you really wanted to, you couldn't even like go to like Japanese nightclubs.
You couldn't do nothing. You couldn't
like, meet no Japanese girls.
And then once you was done competing, like if you finished competing, you had to leave the country like in 2 days. So it was like towards the end, like it wasn't no like closing ceremony. Like we had closing ceremonies,
right?
But everybody wasn't there. Like we wasn't even able to go to opening ceremonies for track because it wasn't the time that it was like a week before our like we competed.
For sure.
So they was like, y'all not allowed to go.
Bro.
So when we got there, like when we was finishing closing ceremonies, it wasn't a lot of people left.
Right.
And then if you did go eat at the cafeteria, you had to wear your mask, you had gloves on, and they had like these little plastic separators between each seat.
Yeah.
So it was
a nightmare. It sounded like a
no,
nightmare.
it was. It was crazy.
Yeah, it sounded like you couldn't wait to come home. Now, at the end of the post, you mentioned, we couldn't do it this time. You have to school me right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the difference, and y'all are probably like, how do you not know the difference?
Yeah.
You corrected me earlier and said I'm going to be competing in the World Championship.
Yeah, so
that's not the 2025 Paris Olympics.
No, Paris was this past year. That was just this past, but I didn't compete. I didn't even go to USA trials because that whole season, I was just trying to come back from like certain injuries I had dealt with the year before, and then I had kind of missed the deadline to qualify. It was like just trying to go through a whole bunch of obstacles that I was dealing with, and it was just like one of those where I was like, bro, like
I feel like I just missed the Paris. Where have I been? Did the Paris Olympics happen?
Yeah.
Where have I been? I've been doing the show. Fuck y'all.
No, you probably watched, but you probably didn't put two and two together.
I know because I don't watch that stuff. Okay, but so we're not doing that, but you're doing the World Championship.
Yeah, so
right?
you got USA trials.
Yeah.
For indoors coming up, and I think end of February.
Okay.
If you make that team, you go to China.
Okay.
And then we also got another World Outdoor Championships this year, and that's back in Tokyo.
Oh, got you.
So,
okay.
and I think that one is in June, maybe.
Bet.
So yeah.
So you're prepping for that now.
Yeah. So I'm prepping for that now.
Wouldn't it be lit if you get to go to China, because now there's no more COVID, and so you can do some shit.
Exactly.
In China,
so it's like I'm looking forward to going there. I'm looking forward to trying to make this team to go to Tokyo.
Right.
To go back there and actually
enjoy Tokyo.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
You have to get a Japanese woman.
Listen, I'm business only. Business only.
Listen, you know what you need? You need a PR person, and I can be your PR person. Okay. I'm going to be your PR person, Will. Yes, I am, but I'm not going to lie. You can be all about your business, but I'm going to go be a Japanese hoe out there, okay? Yes, I am. I don't care. I'm getting me some Japanese poon. Like, who cares? Okay, stop this.
Yo, you're killing me.
Listen, Will, I definitely, okay, you're prepping for the World Championships.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you more about that. I want to talk to you about your training regimen. I want to talk to you, you mentioned you're staying off of social media for a whole minute. I want to talk to you about the distractions, but I also want to talk to you about being slept on. Yeah. Not who you're sleeping with, but who being slept on. Okay? But we're going to take a quick break. Yeah. And when we get back, we're going to have more of my very special guest. Wil London is here on The Public Affair. Local Olympian, local pro athlete, local badass. Make sure you guys stay tuned here on the show. We'll be right back. How you doing?
Man, you killing me, man.
Isn't it great? Yeah. Ready?
Let's get it.
All right, let's do this. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this exciting, that was TMI, I'm sorry. I hope you're enjoying this exciting episode of The Public Affair. My very special guest, Wil London, is in the building, and he just gave me the pass to say that I can ask whatever I want on the show, which we're definitely going to do so here in a second. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair, of course, to Julian and Ana Banda with Banda's Hauling Service. That's right, listen, they rent dump trailers. You fill it up, they're going to haul it away. They also do junk removals, tree brush removals, and they haul cars in and out of town. And if the car breaks down, make sure you hit them up so they can come tow it for you as well at a very affordable price. They also offer roll-off dumpster services as well. Now listen, me and Will, we are ethnic, which means that our families throw those parties where there's always trash all over the place. Okay, we need dumpsters. Banda's Hauling Service is giving dumpsters, all right? They're going to run the dumpster, they're going to take to pick it up next morning, all right? Hit up Banda's Hauling Service, the best in the business, 100% reliable. Banda's Hauling Service, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Al Gutierrez and Adriana Gutierrez with Chefito's Kitchen, serving the best in Latin cuisine, including arroz con gandules, club sandwich, Cuban sandwiches, plátano maduro, plátanos. Oh my goodness, I love them so much. They're serving up some of the food that I grew up on as a Puerto Rican man that they just brought to Waco, and we're just savoring. And if you guys want them to cater your next event as well, they will do so. Chefito's Kitchen, check them out at Union Grove. Place your order on DoorDash, Grubhub, and more. I love them, love them, love them. The Chefito's Kitchen, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, I'm not going to go on without thanking Soko Soccer Academy, Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez. They're offering team, small group, and individual skills training and some of the best childcare services in town as well. They just started doing open play again, so make sure you guys check out their social media to find out when their open play is so you guys can participate in that and occasional leagues as well. If you guys, listen, school is about to be out too. If you guys need something for the kids to do, Soko Soccer Academy is the place to put them into. And I also want to give a huge shout out to the Soko Soccer teams that The Public Affair continues to proudly sponsor. Coach Morrow, Coach Megan, Coach Brian, Coach Jeff. You guys are truly the best, and I can't think of anybody else that can take those kids to the levels that you guys are taking them to, and the amount of respect that they have for you guys. You guys are truly goated at what you do. To all of Soko Soccer Academy, the Public Affair has your back. No matter what, thank you guys so much for all your support of the Public Affair. All right, guys, we're back with my very special guest. He didn't beat my ass for episode 53 being a trash box. He did not do so. Okay, he said it was fine. He's so humble. I love how you're just like, I really view you as like this high-ranking member of society because you went to the Olympics. And you're just so regular.
I mean, you know, I be chilling, man.
You know who was the same way too? And I was so shocked when he was like Ahmad Dixon. I had him on the show.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna be super Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Like for me, it's just like that ain't me. Like I go out to eat by myself. I do everything like normal, like, you know, because I feel like nothing really changed for me.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Like it did, but like I don't like to be looked at that way. So for me, it's just like, I just be chilling.
I get called the Waco celebrity all the time, but I don't get paid like a Waco celebrity, so I'm so confused.
I mean, I still go to all like high school football games, basketball games.
Really?
Like, cause you know some people like, oh, I don't want to go there. You know, like me, I don't care. Like I sit in the stands, I be chilling.
Listen, I went to Midway and I didn't even watch football when I was there, so I'm not going to that. Okay. Well, I'm old. I'm 33 years old, but I feel like I'm turning 83. I just want to go home and drink my coffee and go to bed. Yeah. That's it. You know what I'm talking about? I'll get hang out with your parents.
Yeah, I just went to La Vega girls high school basketball game yesterday. Like, shout out to them.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, it's just like I just do everything. Like,
you're just doing you.
Yeah, I just do me.
You're just regular Decular. I love that about you, and thank you for making the time to come on the show. I truly appreciate it.
For sure.
In the midst of your training regimen.
Yeah.
For the World Championship, but you know, I have to talk to you because one of the things that struck me when we got in touch to actually get you scheduled was that, Andrew, I'm not on social media right now. Like, you know, we're talking about distractions, right? The first distraction I want to talk to you about is these hoes, right? Yes, I do. I don't care because I get distracted sometimes too with the hoes. Man. You know what I mean? Well, you can disclose this or not. Are we in a relationship or not?
I'm chilling, man.
You're chilling. Okay. Chilling. So, but here's the thing, right? Because you're a hot shot, whether you want to admit it or not, right? and everybody wants a piece of that. I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying the girls. Okay. I'm saying the girls want a piece of that. They can be a distraction. You know, there's a lot of fresh meat out there. You know what I mean? Trying to throw themselves at you.
I feel like for me personally, like I just kind of like just do my own thing. Like, you know, there's people who kind of like let that distract them, but I feel like you let distract what, you know what I'm saying, what you let get in your way. Okay. So it's like for me, I just, you know, I do my thing. You know, if I try to, you know, say if I want to get in a relationship or anything, I start it off with letting it be known, like, this is my life. Like, this is how I schedule things. This is how it is.
Oh,
and if you can't like understand that,
accommodate to that,
you know, then that's just what.
But then you're on the road too. Like, here's the thing: you have the world at the palm of your hands, and you know you might end up going to China, right? And then my cousin, he's in the military, and he has like Japanese kids now. You know what I mean? So now they're Black, Japanese, and Puerto Rican. It's so crazy, and he named them all after Street Fighter characters. Yeah, so he did. They're named after Street Fighter characters.
I mean, for me, it's just more so like, you know, like I understand what my goals are. Sure. So it's like for me, I gotta like put that first.
Hold on a second though. Let's keep it a buck though, right? Like, let's do How many times you was going out of town and here in town after the Olympics, right? And all these bitches were throwing themselves at you. Hold on. Yeah,
I can't speak on none of that.
How many times did you go to Hangover? Shout out and rest in peace to Hangover. Shout out to them.
I mean, I'll say this, like for me, it wasn't more so going out. It was more so to like have fun with my friends. Okay. So it's like I got friends that's here. So it's like I missed those times where they was like, yo, we going, like, nah, bro, you know I gotta, you know. And they understood like, nah, you gotta do that. Or some of them was so respectful where it sounds bad, but some of them respectful enough to not even invite me. Oh, okay. Because they was like, nah, we
respect what's going on.
Hey, you got to do this, bro. And I'll be like, bro, you ain't invite me. He's like, nah, bro, you got to practice.
That's a good friend. I don't care. Shout out to them. That is a good friend.
So it's like, once it was, and then they'll be like, bro, I know when it's over, bro, you got to slide out. So it's like, once I was done, it was like, once the season was over, I was like, all right, bro, I get to go out and have some fun.
I saw you on several snaps, you know,
the club. You know, and I was having a good time because it was like, I wasn't doing nothing for an entire year. Right. So it was like, I get to finally go out and kind of enjoy the fruits of my labor.
We talked about that on the last show, though, like how disciplined you were, though, too. Like, you weren't really partying and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's more so like, and I've way more disciplined than I was then. Really? But it's just more so that just came from like, you know, just growing in the sport.
Well, I'm not going to lie. One of my guilty pleasures is waking up at 5 a.m, which is what I normally wake up to. Yeah. And I look at everybody's slutty Snapchats. And then I'm not saying slutty, like nobody was doing anything slutty. But I should say they're overnight Snapchats.
Yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
saw Will on a lot of snaps, and I was like, look at Will living his best life. I'm so happy for him.
Because you never see it. You know what I mean?
I was
So it's
good
like, for me, it's
yeah.
like once it start back, then I'm back locked in.
But okay, how many girls tried to lock themselves in with you though? Like they tried to be like your wife and stuff.
I can't even speak on that.
I watch a lot of love in hip hop, and that happens. You guys become these.
I
watch baddies too.
I live a chill life. So,
You're good.
You know, it's for me. It's like, hey,
okay, Will, you're right.
It can't happen.
I'm not gonna lie. I used every bit of my status to get what you know. So I'm so not gonna front. When I was on the radio too.
Yeah, but like I'm just I'm like. What's crazy is when people meet me, they don't even know like who I am, and I never just go out and say like,
"Good for you."
Like my friends do that,
right?
Like we'll be out somewhere, and then they be like, "Oh, so
that's my boy
like,
Will." Yeah,
you don't know who this is, and I'm like, "Bro, chill." Like
I kind of get mad when people don't know who you are. Though. I get mad when they don't know who you are. Right?
But for me,
like fuck me, but like you're
but I think for me, it's like sometimes when some people figure out who I am, they do too much, and it gets kind of annoying. And like they want to talk about it, like when I'm out, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro,
oh my god,
it is like,
Will, let me not have one rapper on the show, and I go out to one nightclub and I have all the mixtapes in my DMs.
Yeah, so
everybody spitting their bars at me, and I'm just
like some people know who I am, like, but like if you know me, like I've never been the type to like use my name to like. Like even like if I go somewhere in this salon, I'm gonna stand in line.
Good for you.
So it's like, you know, someone's like, bro, you will, bro, just go tell them. Like, bro, that's not
you,
me, bro.
How much of that comes from your family dynamic? Do you think you were getting a lot of whoopings to keep yourself humble?
I mean, it's just my family, like my mom and dad, especially my dad. Like it was a lot of people don't know. Like I didn't have that. Like I guess you can say like that perfect career, like from sports.
Oh yeah.
Like I was the smallest guy. Like I played up in age.
Yeah.
So I was always a year behind everybody in age, but I played up. So it was like when you short, you skinny, and everybody's bigger and way better than you.
Right.
Like you're not considered really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I wasn't tall enough for basketball, but I just hustled hard. I wasn't strong and big enough for football, but I was just faster than everybody.
Yeah.
And then track, I still wasn't there.
Right.
Like I didn't really become good in track until like junior year in the summer. Like junior year and then the summer of junior year in high school. In high school. So for me, it was like you understand when like it'd be different if I started off and I was that guy.
Right.
I never was. So once I became that guy, it was like I done been through everything already.
Okay.
Like, I done been through riding the bench. I done been through not being that guy. I done been through it. So it's just like I know what it's like not being there. So it's like you don't want to go back. And then I've been where I became that guy up here.
Yeah.
Then I went back down. So it's like you know what it's like to like for your podcast, you know, like you had to go here, you got here, then you went back down. So it's like when you understand it.
Shout out to 2024.
So when you understand it, you understand like bro, you just gotta enjoy that moment when you got it.
I like that. I like that you said that for sure. And I totally relate with you in that aspect,
for
sure. 100%.
Like because people think success is just like you just go up.
I think you're right. I think people think that once you reach a certain level of success that you stay there.
And it's
like
hard.
By default, and you do not. Yeah,
exactly.
You fall plenty more times on your ass.
Exactly.
For sure. I agree with you 100%. You know, so you're still relatively young though, because you're younger than me.
27.
Yeah, see, I'm 33. Anyway, well, numerically speaking, I'm 21. I stopped counting after 21.
That's fair.
Yeah, okay. No, but you know, there's a lot of distractions still put at your disposal. You know, I interviewed a kid on the show not too long ago. His name is Neighbor Lopez, and he's even younger than you. He barely turned 20, I think, when he came on the show, 21. And you know, he's like doing real good in terms of like, you know, success-wise as education and stuff like that. You know, career-wise, you are too. But there's so much distraction for you guys as young success stories, if you will. You know,
for sure.
And you know, I feel like in front of your face or on the table is put, we're gonna party, we're gonna celebrate because you've achieved so much. But in your mind, you're still not done. What keeps you not distracted?
Just knowing I haven't reached where I want to be yet.
Okay.
And to understand that, okay, I'll say this. Like, it was a point where I did once I moved to Fort Worth.
Okay.
Because it's a new city. You know, it's bigger than Waco. It's, 35, 40 minutes from Dallas. Yeah. And everybody in my group was from bigger cities. I had people from L.A., people from New York, Indianapolis, like, people from Jamaica. So it's like when you starting to meet people from Dallas too. So it's like when you be around people from there, that's their normal life.
That's what they do.
So for them, it was like chill for them, like just I'm just gonna go out on a Tuesday, get a drink.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm from Waco.
Okay,
like
we don't
do that. We just
mean?
party hard Friday, Saturday. You know what I'm saying? Like
we still recovering on Tuesday. What you talking about?
When you go out there, like they go Friday. Not my training group, but just being out there. Like they
just
go,
in general.
Yeah, they go Friday, they go hard Saturday, and then they go super hard on Sunday, fun day.
Oh, hell.
So it's like I'm in Fort Worth, and you got, I don't know if people familiar with in Fort Worth, they got 7th Street, which is like 6th Street.
Okay.
So it's a street just full of clubs and bars. So it's like you go there, it's packed Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's like I'm like 15 minutes from over there. So it's like I can go down there anytime I want to.
Sure.
And it was a point in time where it was just I was just having a good time.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Just doing what I wanted to.
Yeah.
And it took me to have a very, very bad season to understand, like, all right, bro, like you had now that you understand what it's like being in a bigger city, now you gotta chill.
And the bad season was contributed by
I think it was
going out.
I think it was because I didn't have that same discipline I had being here.
Well, sure. You're partying 4 days a week now.
Exactly.
You're only 15 minutes from the club. You know what I mean?
And it's like you said, you just had that crazy success. You got some money in your pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You doing what you want to do. So it's like for me, like I had to learn, like, you know what I'm saying, how to maneuver it.
For sure.
And I think now it's like I've had fun, but it's like I think one thing about being successful is like knowing your purpose.
Right.
And I felt like I had lost my sense of what my purpose was. Like at first, my purpose was being in Waco, being the guy that everybody looks to, the kids, you know, you're talking to these people. Now I'm out of Waco.
Yeah.
I don't have nobody watching me. So it's like now I finally get to do what Will wanted to do.
You almost felt like you could just spread your wings.
Yeah, I was able to do what Will wanted to do.
Gotcha.
And I seen that, bro, that's not what you need to do.
That's not what that is.
It's not what it is.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, it was like, that's not your purpose. Like,
right. And I think people, and I so love that you're talking about this right now, because I think that a lot of people's goal here in town is to like make it out, right? Like, move to Fort Worth or Austin or whatever. And they don't understand, like, it sounds enticing to like have a club.
Just to be out there.
Yeah, just to be out there, to have, 7th Street 15 minutes from your house and you can go whatever. But that shit catches up to you. And it can really deteriorate you easily.
I mean, especially because if you, like, a lot of people want to move to those places because they've been out there for like a couple days. Right. So it's like, oh, I love it out here. Like me and my friends, like we always do, like me and my track buddies, we always do like a trip after the season is over. Okay. This past trip, we went to Houston. Okay. Time of our life. Sure. I knew, like I said, there's no way I can live in Houston.
No, absolutely.
It's not possible to live in Houston and be disciplined because they go out every night. Yeah. We went hard on Sunday than we did. And while we're at the club, they're saying, oh, we got so-and-so, this rapper gonna be here on Monday.
Monday, okay, bitch.
Oh, Monday. But when you look at what when you look at the demographic that's in the club, you got the scammers, drug dealers, people who, you know what I mean? These are exactly, you know what I mean? So it's like for them, it's like they can do that every day. Right. So I said, I don't have no business. It was a fun weekend.
It's a fun
that's
getaway.
And that was one of those situations where we was like, yo, we had our fun. And since we all have the same goals, it was like, all right, this is our one for the year, bro. Back to the grind. And
I love that.
That next weekend, we was back. Everybody was back doing their thing. We started back locking in. So it's like that's one of those things where it's like you gotta know like how to cut it on and cut it off.
Can I commend you too for being 27 years old and having that mindset and,
and
realizing just like the different like. You're right.
Yeah.
This is not somewhere that we can just be. Like, you still have so much to do.
Well, because I also think a lot of people, like, at my age, is more so like, oh, I want to have fun now and then doing that.
No, that's not.
But for me, it's like, I want, like, I know what I consider fun. And like, I want to be, like, 50-something. Early 60s already retired from whatever I decide to do. Which if you retire at 50, that means you did it.
That's winning right there.
Yeah,
50's
for
still
sure.
young.
That's still young. But it's like I know if I go hard and just have a great time now, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, you'll be working in your 60s and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, you know, and I'm not. And plus, for a professional athlete's career is really short. Right. Like a lot of people look at someone like LeBron and think everybody's like that. Like the typical span of an athlete in the NFL, NBA, the average is 3 to 4 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's the average. Track is really about the same.
Oh.
So it's like,
I didn't know that.
Then you got those people who just excel and keep going.
Sure.
And I want to be one of those people,
Right.
like, who can just keep going. And then when I'm ready to hang it up, I'm done.
Then you're good.
I done made the money I wanted to make. I had the success I wanted to. Now I can do whatever I want without feeling like I'm forced to do a job because I need the money.
I see. Okay. No, I completely, I love that. I love that, love that. You know what? And you are probably going to disagree with me on this next topic, but I was kind of getting aggravated when I was putting together my notes. Like, why are we not talking about Wil in the city so much? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you have and not to take away from anybody else, but it kind of like, I talk about this a lot on the show. I feel like we focus a lot on the same people. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to like the celebrity, for lack of a better term, of Waco. But I'm like, here we have this kid. And I say kid because you're younger than me substantially, 27. And you've garnished so much success in your career, and you're still not done, and you're still working so hard. I think you were given the key to the city. Yeah.
Well, I think
I don't have a key to the city.
But I think for me, the reason people don't is two things. Like, one thing is because I feel like people don't give you success until you gone. Like, that's like when you look at like rapper, for example, Nipsey Hussle. Okay. They didn't give him, the shine that he did for the community with the stores. And
that's deep.
Like, when you look at when his store was just a regular store in the hood, but once he got shot and killed, like, you got lines trying to go and buy like his merchandise and all of these things. Just any rapper or any celebrity you see that, rest in peace to them, that goes through a situation like that, that's when everything, like, they sell skyrocket with music and stuff like that. Sure. That's one thing. And two, I feel like because I'm still accessible, like, in the sense of I still go around normal, you know what I'm saying? Like, I still speak to people in a normal fashion. Like, they don't look at me in that sense. Now, do I think it's right? I ain't gonna say I think it's wrong or right, but at the same time, I also look at it in the sense of, like, I don't want people always to feel like, I don't think, like, for you, for example, like, I didn't want you to think that I don't think he gonna do it. Because I don't think he, you know what I mean? Like, I want people to be on some, like, yo, Wil, you mind coming to talk to my kids after? Like, I got friends that work at schools, and they be like, bro, you'll come up here and talk to the kids. I'm like, well, y'all know I got practice, but if it's cool, you know what I'm saying? I can do it at this time. Like, they don't ever feel like, I know Wil ain't gonna do it. Like, I don't want no one in the city to ever feel like that.
You want to be accessible.
Yeah, I want to, because it's just like, the youth, it's gotten to a point where it's really bad out here in the city. Oh, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's getting really bad, and
they don't have direction.
They don't. So
they're
it's like
lacking direction.
And I don't want the people who have the I guess you could say the hands to be like, we need Wil to come talk to these kids.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it might be 15 kids that they want me to talk to. If two is, if I can reach two, right, I did a good job. Did something. I did something. For sure. But if they don't ask me at all, then.
So you want to be dependent on as a resource for that matter.
I mean, because that's my job.
I agree.
Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, that's, like, when I tell you, like, I found my purpose again. When I moved back to Waco, like, my nephew, he just moved back to Waco, and he's living with us. You know what I'm saying? And it's like one of those situations where he went through typical 14, 15-year-old, make bad decisions, so, and I'm trying to get him back on track. Yeah. You know what I mean? And let him know, like, bro, it's not too late. Like, you know what I mean? Like, trying to get back on him. I'm staying on him all the time. And I know he gets annoyed because I am, but it's like, bro, like,
he'll appreciate it later.
Yeah, so it's like one of those where it's like, because he's back, I found my purpose to go harder because he's looking at me. Yeah. So if I do something wrong and I'm making the wrong decisions, he gonna do exactly what I do. I got you. So it's like when I look at people like me, Kenrich, Ahmad, or Ron Stewart, like, that's our job. Like, regardless if people say, oh, like, I can simply say, I've just signed up to be a professional athlete. That's all I want to do.
Got you.
I don't get the opportunity to do that.
I got you.
That's what I'm supposed to do more.
I think it comes with it.
That's what comes with it.
It comes with it.
And a lot of people don't want to wear that jacket.
But whether you like it or not, it comes with it.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I think when you put yourself out there, I got booked for a career day. Yeah. At an elementary school.
But I mean, there is like, but you also got to look at it this way with how social media is. There's kids that want to be streamers, like that want to be, do podcasts and stuff.
But then where I'm getting at, bro, with you too, is that kids are really looking at us.
Exactly.
The youth is looking at
and
it.
even when you think they're not, they are.
We are accessible to them. They have access. It's not like when we were younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like it's gonna be like
us, so.
It's probably more kids that's gonna watch this podcast than grown-ups.
So in that respect, oh, that makes me nervous. Stop. But in that respect, you know, it makes us think twice about our actions. So I can't be out partying. I can't be on the slutty snaps. I can't, you know, I can't be talking about sexual things all the time.
I mean, you can do it, but it's just like you just got to be more mindful.
You got to be more
careful.
mindful.
You know what I mean? So it's like I signed up for this. I knew what came with. I knew the losses came with my track career. I knew I was gonna maybe get cut from a contract. I knew like I was gonna go up. I was gonna get down. I knew the injuries came with it. One thing you will never see me do is complain. Like I never complain.
Okay.
Like when coaches give me a workout, when coach talking to me, when I'm talking to my agent, oh, we can't get you in this. I never complain. Like whatever my agent, like you want to run in this meet, I've ran injured before. Like I don't complain about anything because I know it came with what I chose to do.
Yeah,
that's what comes with my lifestyle.
You're just so responsible. You're so responsible.
I mean, I gotta be. I don't have a choice.
Is there pressure sometimes, or are you content with that?
No, I'm content because it's like I know what came with it. So it's like pressure. Like the reason where I stopped like thinking too much on it because like, I got 3 older sisters. Two of them are like one of them is a single mom. So it's like with 2 kids. And then the other one, you know, she's a mom that's working hard, trying to support her 3 daughters, 2 older nephews. With 3, the oldest 2 is the oldest. They gone on their own already. So for me, it's like even though they're 24, 21, they still watch me. And then with my sisters, it's like I look at what they go through to try to raise the kids. So it's like for me, I look at it more so like, man, I could complain about this, but then I look what really goes on in Waco. Like you can like it's been nights where like, man, I want to complain. I get in the car, I drive through Stella Maxey, drive through Trentwood, and I'm really doing this at night. Then I look at the situation. I don't got nothing to complain about.
Like it could be worse.
I'm mad because I lost in Italy a race. I'm in Italy for free.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, hello.
So it's like, for me, it's like I
eating linguine and
exactly. So it's like being for real though.
No,
like I'm traveling the world on like from running. Right. Like, and I'm getting paid. Like, I remember when I made my first like big money. Like my parents seen it. They was like, "Boy, you made more than what we ever made." Oh, wow. And it was like they put it in perspective. Like dang, like my parents like worked hard. My dad was a FedEx driver. Right. My mom worked at this place called Easy Gardener, like at an office desk job. And I'm like, bro, like y'all work crazy hours, 8 to 5 every single day. And I went out there to one track meet, and I ran 3 races total. Like this race took me 44 seconds. Yeah. This race took me 44 seconds. Oh wow. And then just because I made the team, they sent this much money. Right. And I made this much that y'all made ever made in y'all life. I got like I was just like, bro, I'm done complaining. Like, I don't have a reason to.
I love you for that so much. I hope that people will watch this and really just like they'll retain that. Do you know what I mean?
I think because a lot of people have like, I know a lot of people, they always think like, oh, I didn't think that's how you really act. Like, because I'm quiet. Like, I really don't talk to people. No, I kind of stay out. So, like, I go out to eat by myself all the time. Like, I go eat by myself all the time. I do, like, I'll go to Old Chicago. That's my spot. Like, I'll sit at Old Chicago. I got my AirPods in. Or sometimes I even had a wired earphones, like the old school way. Watching YouTube, watching the race. I'm going back, watching film from practice. I go to there. I go to Kava. I go to any place and I eat by myself, and there's some people that'll see me or some people will see me and then don't speak. Right. So they, you know what I mean? So then when they speak, they'll be like, bro, I thought you was different than that. People think like I'm an asshole. No. So it's like, that's not me. You know what I mean? For sure. So, but I can see why, because maybe a professional athlete or somebody they met gave them that type of vibe. But you know what I mean? So that's just how it is. I understand.
I've met people like that.
So you know what I mean? Like they'll be like, you don't know who I am. That's not me.
No, yeah, for sure. When people come up to me and recognize me too, it feels like the first time every time. Because it hasn't registered in my head yet.
It's not because that's just the person you are though.
I guess
it's just the person you are because you go everywhere normal. Like you know.
But you put so much in perspective. It's like people think that we've accomplished so much, but I think we're in the mindset that we're not done yet.
Nah,
There's still so much to be
it's
doing,
a lot.
you know?
It's a lot.
Yeah, and I appreciate that about you
So I'm
so
gonna
much.
ask you this.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question now.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you feel like you got so much to accomplish, are you unhappy? That's just yes or no. It's just yes or no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like you where I'll take a step back at night, reassess the day, and say, damn, Andrew, do you really have it that bad? You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
I'm not driving through Stella Maxi and you know, stuff like that, but I think about other people in worse situations.
Yeah, for sure.
I am on social media, unfortunately. And so I see some of the things like, you know, there'll be mothers, hey, can somebody give me some money for dinner tonight?
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I ate tonight. Do you know what I mean?
And I know exactly because it's hard because it's like, it's hard to, you want to enjoy what you've built. Like, because you built your brand.
Right.
I built my brand. It's like, you want to enjoy, but then like, I tell people that's the hardest thing about living here is because it's like, it's so much going on that needs to be fixed. And you always trying to find a way to do it. And you know it's out of your control.
I agree with you. And I guess to answer your question, like, it's just, I find happiness, I feel like I'm very blessed.
Yeah.
When everything is said and you want to know what you talked about the ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
I would say end of 2023, a year ago today, as of the recording of this episode, up until maybe 6 months ago, I felt like I was in the worst place. I really fell on my ass, Will, because I spent all of 2023 at the height of my career, like, oh my God, everything's going so well, you know, financially, everything, you know what I mean? Mentally. And then things just started happening. Yeah. And then at 1 minute, I just fell back, bro. And I was like, for sure. And you know, I'm thankful to God for the people that he put in my life to pick me up. There's people that are a year ago were in my life and are not now. Yeah. I think that was for the best. Yeah, you know what I mean? I think there was like a lot of leeches. I'm sure you've dealt with that too. For sure. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I mean, because I think for me, like I went through that like when I was in Fort Worth and like I just could not get it together as far as training. Like when I was doing like that second year I was in out there, I think that was 2022. Okay. And I was like, bro, like this gotta go right. Right. No, it was 2023, sorry. And I was like, man, like this the season. You know, I'm doing everything right. I'm disciplined. Like me and my coach, we kind of had we fixed it at the end of the year before that. Okay. So going into the new season, we kind of had a plan. Yeah. First track meet of the season, we was running in Arkansas indoors. Pulled my hamstring, grade 2. I was like, oh my God, damn it. Yeah. And for me, it was like, I'm a positive thinker. Right. So I was like, all right, I've been injured before. So it's like, we still got the whole outdoor season. I'm good. Yeah. And I just cannot bounce back from it. Like season's getting ready to start. We getting closer. I'm still not able to run like I need to. Right, right. And my agent, she was like, look, it's getting towards the end. We got to get you on some track meets. And I'm like, I'm not healthy. But I was like, I'm going to run. Right. Forget it. I'm gonna run like 3-4 meets back to back. Finish last in each and last one of them. I just could not get through it. Like I was still hurt. Right. I did not feel good. I wasn't in shape like I needed to be. I wasn't in great shape because I was trying to fix the hamstring issue. Yeah, for sure. And a lot of people don't know when you're injured, that's more money you spending. Because you're trying to spend it on trainers, you know, get all these different things. So I'm not making money, but I'm spending money. Right. Living expenses, traveling. God. And I'm just like, yo. It becomes too much. Yeah, it became too much, but I knew like I cannot give up. I got you. You know what I mean? So it was just like, and then once that season was over, I was like, yo, like, you know, had a kind of like a little fallout with the coach I was with. You know, shout out to him though, because he, you know, he was still doing what he could for me. You know what I'm saying? So we just decided it was best to, you know, I go my way, he go his. Gotcha. And it was, you know, and it was the end of that. Amicable. It's fine. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, you know, cool. It was two grown men that figured that it just wasn't gonna work. Yeah. You know, and I talked to Coach Ford. He was like, yo, man. I was like, Coach, I gotta come back. I'm gonna come back to train here. He's like, look, you know the door is open. So I talked to my pops. He was like, look, man, I want you to come back. He was like, and I was more so like, I was low key was just like, yo, like I'm almost this close, like I'm almost ready to be like, yo, I'm finna be done with all of this. Oh wow. You know, I was just almost this close from being like, yo, I'm just ready to like go into my next part of life. Sure. And my dad, he pulled me to the side, like when I came back, he was like, hey, it's not gonna be easy.
Right.
So you better get ready. So we trying to start the season off, still going through injuries. Got an Achilles injury now. So it was just like, yo, like, bruh.
It's just one thing after
Man,
another. Yeah.
and if people don't know, when you go, like, I'm pretty sure, like you say, like, one thing, as soon as you get one thing, going through another one.
Something else,
Then
yeah.
I'm just like, bro, just going through this. And I'm like, bro, I don't got time for this. Like,
That's too much.
And then it's like, get stressed, trying to deal with that. And when you're trying to get through an injury, stress is the last thing you need.
Right.
So I'm just trying to focus. And then, the season didn't go well last year because I was trying to get through those injuries. And my dad, I was really on some, like, my dad, he could just see my face. And my mom pulled me to the side one day. She was like, you all right? I was like, I'm always like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And no, you're not. I was like, I am. She was just like,
a mother knows.
Yeah, she do.
Yeah.
She's like,
mother
nah,
knows.
I ain't seen you smile, son. Like, you don't look good. I said, I'm good. And then I had a meet in Canada. I ran my season best. It wasn't what I wanted to run, but it was one of those where, like, it's a little light at the end of the tunnel. I came, my dad, he was on the phone. He was like, man, hey, proud of you.
Oh, good.
Because they was more so like, matter of fact, my dad called and it was on a group call with my agent. And they was more so happy because they knew what I went through last year.
Right, for sure.
And the year before that and the year before that.
Right.
So it was more so like, they gave me that feeling that everything's going to be good.
Gotcha.
And my agent was just like, I'm never going to, like, look at you, like, whatever it is, like, anybody who ever tries to, like, talk like you ain't like that, like, because they know, like, people don't know, like, the injuries, everything, it's way more.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm only going to speak on, but once we get there, I'm going to come back on here and I'm going to tell that side of the story.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Yes.
Once
three more years.
No, it's going to be before that.
Oh, it's going to be before that. Okay,
we're going to turn up this year. We're going to make it happen.
Will's making time for me. He said yes.
So we're going to come back and we're going to tell that side of the story.
Yeah, for sure,
But it was more so like, I came back and I was like, yeah, I'm good. My mom seen me. She was like, that's a smile I know.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? And she knew what it was.
So you're back in it.
Yeah, so after that, and I was disappointed that I didn't go to USA to try to qualify for the Olympic team, but it was one of those where I needed that time away. Like you had your time, I needed it. I spent that time to just really just sit back and just like, man, I'm watching them run. And then I had that feeling again where I'm just like, bro, I should be up there, bro. Like, oh my God.
It kind of like reignites.
Yeah, it did. But it was a good one because when it came to the off season and everything, oh man, I'm on point. Like this being disciplined, everything, like I haven't cut not one corner. Like it's just been crazy, yeah.
So you're back in your game. And I hate that we're running out of time, but I know that's ghetto. But you're back in your time, or you're back in your prime. You're getting ready for the World Championships, right? The training regimens and remaining disciplined and everything like that. I know that you said that you got it all together, right? And you got your head back in the game, but are there still some challenges for you?
It is, because you always had that thought in your head, like, dang, what if it happens again?
Sure.
You always had that, but that's just one of those things where you wake up every day and you just get to it. Like, I don't need no pre-workout. I'm just straight locked in,
Okay.
Like, I'm just every morning, like, locked in, ready to get to going.
You were just focused.
Yeah, like, it's just what it is. So it's like, and everybody around me understand. So it's like, I don't even have to, like, push myself.
Right.
Like, it's just me waking up. I know, like,
Now it's just like second nature.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it's
just what you're doing. Well, I know that you're not on social media right now because, you're staying but I am going to send you the link to the episode. You just need to share with all your friends, okay?
Nah, by the time you drop it, you never know. It might just pop out.
Just pop up there. Just like, hey, I'm not here, but hey, I was on the public affair again, and it sounds better this time. Okay, so listen, Will, I just want to tell you before we go, I'm so grateful, number one, that you came back on the show. I feel like I've owed this to you for so long. And I know you think different, but I needed to do this justice. And
for sure.
I'm grateful to know the headspace that you're in now. 3 years later, you're still young, but you're so just poised. You're so humbled. You're so I just admire a lot about you. And I wish you nothing but the utmost success. Truly.
Appreciate that, man.
And I hope that you in the future have kids that are just like you.
Got a while for that.
Yeah, no, we got a while for that. I know. Yeah, you host, stop this. All right. Yeah, that's it. Don't be trying to use this as a leverage. Okay, to think whatever. Okay, yeah. The hoes are coming up, but you Leave them to me. No, honestly, I wish you nothing but the best in your life, bro. And I'm excited to have you again on the show in the future. I hope that we can reconvene, you know. And
we will,
when you're allowed to have brunch, let me know.
Yeah.
We'll go have brunch, yes.
I appreciate you, for having me again. And, don't be thinking that next time. Don't be talking about some. You ain't gonna come back on the show. No, man, don't do that, man. Anytime you want me to come on the show, I got you, bro.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Sir,
Will,
man.
what can you leave us with before we go?
Whatever's going on, just keep pushing through. Like this is my favorite one. It was from a song. Before you get the M, you got to take L's.
Oh, okay.
So before you get to 1 million, you got to take L's.
Okay.
It's simple.
I love it.
That's just how I look at it. So just remember, like, before you reach your point, it's always going to be, before you reach greatness, you're going to go through the worst part of your life. Simple. That's just what it is. So when you start going through it, it's coming.
I love that. That's inspiring. That is so inspiring. Wil London, thank you so much for coming onto the public. I'm going to be rooting for you at the World Champions. And if you do need, just the PR social media person,
I got you. I'll let you run the page.
That's it. I can run the page, but if you need to take me, to do the back behind the scenes, camera.
Yeah, come on, man. Let's get it.
I'm not going to be disciplined. I'll just let you know that right now. Like, I'll be
on time.
You don't
need to record. You ain't going to be nowhere to be found.
I'll be on time for work.
Okay,
Don't get me wrong, but
other than that, I ain't gonna find you.
Don't take me to fucking Japan, okay? Because you can get your 1 or 2 little shots, and then I'll be.
Hey, you know what? That's fair enough. As long as I get the 1, 2, we good.
You get what you need.
All right,
and then I gotta go get what I need too.
Okay, cool. That's fair. That's fair.
I got you, Will. Thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Man.
To all of you guys, thank you again so much for coming back to tune in. We've got more of the Public Affair on the way. We're gonna end the year on a high note. Now, before we go, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out just a few more of our sponsors. Did I have this many sponsors the last time you were here? No, right?
Nah,
it's crazy. I love it. See, that's another thing I'm blessed about too. I'll tell you that right now. I'm very blessed for that, and that makes me happy. To Pollo Box and Audio, my boy Jeffrey Monreal, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of the Public Affair. He's home for all your LED needs, auto accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. Oh, well, I have bass in my car now. How about that?
Okay,
he gave me the bass. Now, I'm not bumping what y'all be bumping though. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm regular degular, man.
Yeah, I'm like the Ariana Grande's and the Britney Spears and shit. Okay, I put that on. I went to the East and did that, and they looked at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Yeah, so he supplies all of that. Custom subwoofer enclosures, car tint, star lights, LED lights, all audio upgrades, all car upgrades. Hit up Pollo Box and Audio. He's truly the best. To Pollo Box and Audio, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of the Public Affair. Of course, to Sid Rodriguez at Elite Barbershop, who he got me fresh faded today for this episode of the Public Affair with Wil London. That's right. Call the number on the screen or download the Squire app to book as walk-ins are welcome as well. He's got Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Clint Fletcher, Isai Reyes, Sam Ceballos, and Kayla Chapa, making you look as snacks as I have for more than 200 and something, I lost count, episodes of the Public Affair. To Elite Barbershop, thank you for being a longtime sponsor of the show. Of course, the Ana Limones with Hummingbird Party Backdrops and the Call Car for all party decor, including beautiful balloon props, giving an extra flair to your party or event with a number of wooden backdrops as well. They're all custom made by the husband and my girl right there. You want to talk about punctual? You want to talk about on time? You want to talk about high quality? Hummingbird Party Backdrops and decor. That's where it's at. To Ana Limones, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of the Public Affair. And of course, to my boy Julio Arriaga at JC Painting and Drywall LLC. Contact for all drywall and beautiful new paint for your property, both commercial and residential. He's the best at what he does. His work is honest and true, and he can guarantee 100% satisfaction. Truly living by his slogan, just imagine we can make it happen. Said Español. To my boy Julio Arriaga, mucho gracias por todo. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of the Public Affair. To all of you guys, I've got more of the show on the way. To Will, thank you again so much for coming on to the show. We truly appreciate it. Once you're done with the World Championship and you're allowed to drink again, we're doing brunch. I don't care. We're gonna do brunch, and whatever you see Will doing at brunch when we go, don't forget to always keep it between us. That's it. Did you have a good time?
Man, was
it great? I'm so happy. Yes.
No, we ain't have to mess up the mic or nothing. It didn't fall.
No, we did. Okay.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.